Hey guys, GSP on GSP Talk Sports here, and we're talking football preview round 27. This actually started on Wednesday 18th. We had a match in the EPL, and we had Wolves, 20th place Wolves versus first place Arsenal. I would have predicted a draw for this, and I got it right. It was a 2-2 draw. Yeah, Wolves coming back from 2-0 down. Arsenal led 2-0, and Wolves equalizing in 94th minute. So a big draw here for Wolves. And Arsenal had a chance to go 7 points clear, and they blew it. So yeah, they're still 5 points clear at the moment, but City to play on the weekend have a game in hand. So it's a 5 point difference. If City wins their game in hand, it could be 2 points. So squeaky bum time for Arsenal here. They're still in first, but barely holding on. In this game, they had 58% possession, 10 shots, 4 on target. Wolves had 5 shots, 2 on target, and they scored 2 to draw 2-all. Complacency, I don't know what we're going on with Arsenal. Arsenal next play at Spurs, so that could be a very tricky encounter. And Wolves next play at Palace. Moving on to predictions, the preview predictions for this Saturday, starting Saturday, the 21st in the EPL, we have Villa in third place versus Leeds in 15th. And Villa coming off a 3-1 loss to Newcastle in the FA Cup. Leeds coming off a 1-1 draw and then penalty win in the FA Cup over Birmingham. And Villa, they are unbeaten in the last 7 matches versus Leeds. And they got their title challenge back on track recently. So I'm going to go with a Villa win. Villa versus Leeds, I'm predicting a Villa win. Moving on the Saturday, we have Brentford in 7th versus Brighton in 14th. Brentford coming off the 1-0 win over Macclesfield in the FA Cup, and Brighton coming off a 3-0 loss to Liverpool last time. This is basically the Thiago versus Welbeck shootout. Yeah. For Brentford versus Brighton, I'm going to go with a Brentford win. So let's see. Moving on, Chelsea in 5th place versus Burnley in 19th. Chelsea coming off a big 4-0 win over Hull in the FA Cup, and Burnley coming off a 2-1 loss in the FA Cup. Chelsea, by the way, have dropped more points from winning position than any other team. Alex, what we're on with your team there, boy? So, but in this one, I'm going to predict in Chelsea versus Burnley, I'm going to predict a Chelsea win. Chelsea win. So let's see. Then we have 18th place West Ham versus 9th place Bournemouth. West Ham fighting for their lives. They're coming off a 1-0 win in the FA Cup, and Bournemouth coming off a 2-1 win over Everton. West Ham in 18th place trying to catch Forest. Forest are 3 points ahead to climb out of the relegation zone there. Bournemouth, they have the most wins in 2026, by the way. 4 wins, just 4 wins, and they have the most. So in this West Ham versus Bournemouth, I'm going to go with a draw. So let's see. Then we have, continuing on Saturday, 2nd place City versus 10th place Newcastle. City with the chance to close the gap to 2 points. They are coming off a 2-0 win in the FA Cup. Newcastle coming off a big 6-1 win over Karabag FK in the Champions League. Big win there for Newcastle, so they'll be full of confidence going against City. So let's see if City takes this chance. City versus Newcastle, I'm going to go with a City win, predicting a City win. Continuing Saturday in La Liga, we have Osasuna in 10th place versus top of the table, Real Madrid, Hala Madrid. Right, Osasuna unbeaten in the last 5 though. Real coming off a 1-0 win in the Champions League over Benfica, hard fought there. And they are 2 points clear on top of the table, back on top of the table, thank God. In this Real versus Osasuna, I'm going to go with a Real Madrid win. Real Madrid to win this one. Hope they continue and can take this chance that Barca gave them here now to end up winning this league title. Continuing Saturday in Serie A, we have 5th place Juve versus 6th place Como. Juve coming off that 5-2 loss to Galatasaray in Champions League, heartbreaking there. They conceded 8 goals in the last 2 matches, by the way. But in this Juve versus Como, I'm going to go with a Juve win. Juve all the way, Forza Juve. Moving on to Sunday, in the EPL, we have 13th place Palace versus 20th place Wolves. Palace coming off a 1-1 draw in the Conference League, and Wolves coming off the big 2-2 draw with Arsenal. Wolves fighting for pride basically because they're already down, but they're giving everybody a hard fight. And Palace has to try and climb up back the table. I'm going to go with a Palace win in Palace versus Wolves. Then we have, continuing Sunday, we have Forest in 17th versus 8th place Liverpool. Forest coming off a 3-0 win in Europa. Liverpool coming off the 1-0 win over Sunderland, and they had a 3-0 over Brighton in the FA Cup. They have 15 goals in the last 5, by the way. Liverpool had to keep fighting for these Champions League spots. Forest trying to keep their head above relegation, but it could be very, very tight here now. If Forest lose to Liverpool and West Ham win, they will be level on points. But in Forest versus Liverpool, I'm going to go to a Liverpool win. You'll never walk alone. Yep. Then we have 11th place Sunderland versus 12th place Fulham. Sunderland coming off the 1-0 win in the FA Cup, and Fulham coming off a 2-1 loss to Stoke in the FA Cup. This is Bromby versus Wilson here. And Sunderland versus Fulham, I'm going to go with a Sunderland win. Sunderland win. Spurs in 16th via their coach versus first place Arsenal. Now you might think it's first versus 16th and Arsenal going on just walk all over Spurs, but this is a London derby. And we all know Spurs at home, they wouldn't want to just, hand Arsenal at 3 points just like that. So expect some fireworks in this game. Spurs going to fight. They're coming off a 2-1 loss to Newcastle, and they are just 5 points above relegation, by the way, Spurs. And Arsenal coming off the 2-2 draw with 20th place Wolves, kind of real bottling this title race right now. So yeah, I am predicting for Arsenal versus Spurs a Spurs win. Spurs win. So let's see there. Then continuing Sunday in La Liga, we have 2nd place Barca versus 10th place Levante. Barca, for the first time since October, lost back-to-back matches, and they are coming off a 2-1 loss to Girona. But you know what? In this, I have to go with a Barca win. Barca versus Levante, Barca win. So let's see there too. And then on the Monday, in the EPL, we have Everton in 8th versus Man U in 4th. Everton coming off a 2-1 loss to Bournemouth, and Man U coming off a 1-1 draw with West Ham, scraper draw. But they have 4 wins and 1 draw in the last 5 matches. And in this Everton versus Man U, I'm going to go with a draw for this one. So those are my predictions for this match week 27. Right? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let us know your predictions as well. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe. GSP on GSP Talk Sports. Looking forward to the next.